We'll Meet Again on 3-crown difficulty is considered the hardest skill-based no gacha challenge in the game. Standing the test of time for over 5 years, only a couple of dedicated players have completed this challenge even with today's bag week, the first being slightly over a year ago. Today, I'd like to present to you my own strategy guide for We'll Meet Again on 3-crown difficulty, with the no gacha restrictions of course. My explanations use first-hand experience, which has also integrated strategies from watching completions in the past, and also relatively new completions too. Keep in mind that I play in my own style, and others' playstyles are neither wrong nor right. What's most important for you is that if you dare try to do this challenge, discover a playstyle that suits yourself best first, then go ahead and try everything else. I'm going to section this video into 3 parts, discussing stage breakdown, a general strategy guide, and then finally concluding with my own optimization tips. Feel free to skip to these timestamps on the screen if it's appropriate. Let's start with the stage breakdown. Part 1 of the video will be the stage breakdown. To begin, note the overall behavioral trends of the stage. After this, general goals can then be planned and achieved. Factor number 1 concerns the boss, Awakened Unit 13. The battle starts with it spawning very quickly, and it has a lot of stats to back itself. 300,000 attack and 12 million health on 3 crown. For simplicity's sake, let's just assume that it one-shots every unit you have for no gacha. It's not only just the stats which makes Unit 13 very difficult to deal with though. It has a standing range of 200, but an attack extension via Omni Strike which reaches to 1200, alongside an attack frequency of just 4.06 seconds. Factor number 2 concerns the peons. Throughout the battle, there are 2 infinite respawning waves, each of Shibalian, BB Bunny, and Trolley Blogger. These peon waves are randomly desynced every time they respawn. These 2 factors combine to create an endurance stage with uniquely structured peon waves which push and take away valuable space whenever Unit 13 attacks. Unit 13 and the peons will continue to push forward until your base is destroyed. With these behaviors now observed, here are the main goals of the level. Use and precisely time fast-moving units to avoid Unit 13's attack. Stall Unit 13 when it's alone, and when peons appear, deploy attackers to deal with them. At this point, you'll also have to decide whether to stall or lure Unit 13. On one hand, forcing Unit 13 to initiate an attack stops it from advancing for 4.06 seconds, while as a result all the attackers die and the peons push forward. On the other hand, luring Unit 13 forward keeps the attackers alive for just a bit longer to deal with the peons, but costs valuable space, and Unit 13 then advances. Unit 13 is immune to knockback, and on 3 crowns it has 2 million HP before being naturally staggered, so the sniper item will be the best way to regain space. The faster you deal with the peons, the more time and space sniper will gain back for you. Oh, and by the way, the stage is over 20 minutes long. Good luck balancing on this tightrope of a stage while continuing to deploy precisely. All of that is the overall idea of the level and strategy for We'll Meet Again. Part 2 is the strategy guide. It will cover the best and most consistent ways of achieving the main goals I just listed. Mastery over peon control will allow you to have more freedom to achieve the other goals, so I'll cover how to deal with the peons properly. By far the weakest is Trolley Blogger with low health and low damage, but the knockback chance is not to be underestimated. Next is BB Bunny. Its health and attack are still manageable, but its main threat is the speed, as it will push significantly after Unit 13 attacks. Lastly, the Shibalians are slow, tanky, and the most difficult to deal with. Thankfully, they are not very fast, and that will give you more time to deal with them than the bunnies. With all this in mind, let's go over what units are best here, and how to achieve the goals with them. Manic Lion and Stone Cat are the fastest moving spammable meat shields. You should use both of them here. stalling a lone Unit 13 is trivial with Manic Lion, while Stone strengthens our front line whilst being able to also remove trolley bloggers. In addition, both of these units are able to clip through peons, something you might occasionally find useful to stall Unit 13. Moving on to the best attackers in the stage, starting with everyone's favourite, no skill, early game rusher unit. Courier is an essential choice for us to improve the consistency of the defences. It directly counters 2 out of the 3 peons in the level, and recharges quickly. Thanks to its anti-red specialty, you'll be able to concentrate damage on the Shibalians instead of the bunnies. Unfortunately, this damage doesn't immediately kill bunnies on 3 crown, but other attackers can finish the job, as can the next unit. Without Slime, the entire strategy just falls apart. Slime's attack extension is a level 7 shockwave, which immediately cripples and staggers every peon upon landing an attack. Combined with Courier, we can immediately eliminate a bunny now, with the correct timings. We will return later to Slime though, because it is difficult to utilize effectively without a proper explanation, unlike the next unit of choice. Bullet Train is still the best attacker on We'll Meet Again on 3 crowns, despite the stronger peons. With Bullet Train, you can quickly make a path through the peons to stall Unit 13, or you can just use it to deal excellent damage. Or, it can just get you out of difficult situations. This versatility is unmatched by any other unit available, and the cooldown is 20 seconds. Luckily, using the next unit can help with Bullet Train's downtime even more. Supercar has an immense damage number, and you should aim to deliver this onto the Shibalians. Unfortunately, Shibalian's interaction with Supercar makes landing a successful hit a bit more difficult, but it doesn't change that much. Supercar is strong. Its cooldown is similar to Bullet Train, so between them, it will be difficult for lone Shibalians to cause trouble. Also remember that Supercar's 81,000 damage can be directly inflicted to the boss. It will certainly speed up the stage, but nowhere near as much as the last unit. Awaken Bahamut's talents, added in version 14.2, were the last power creep that paved the way to the first completion on 3 crown. Bahamut deals between 200,000 and 600,000 damage to the boss, and usually cripples or completely removes any peons within the vicinity of the blast. It is just as good as it sounds. Bahamut not only accelerates the stage, but also doubles as a safety option if things go south. Armed with these 7 best units, it is now time to explain the strategy for We'll Meet Again 3 crown. Overall, it seems simple to learn, but the challenge will be adapting your defense to the many variations of peon waves and continuing that for 20 minutes. I'll begin by addressing the simple defensive patterns first, and later move on to the more complicated ones, which will require multitasking and planning, alongside the confident deployment timings. Simple 1 peon defenses are the most frequent scenarios and the easiest to learn and master. This is critical for understanding and dealing with variance in the single peon waves, and will help you save time, space, and resources overall. To start off this section, I'll explain the most important technique that makes We'll Meet Again 3 crown runs consistent but difficult, called slime sniping. Slime sniping is a necessary skill to learn and master if you want to make We'll Meet Again 3 crown consistent. It mainly involves control of the sniper item. I haven't really explained the sniper item so far, but it is a crucial element in the strategy, being the only reliable way to regain space. It fires every 10 seconds or so at the frontmost detectable enemy, and it nearly perfectly aligns itself with Unit 13's attack cycle. Intentional or coincidence? In general, failure to control the sniper item will result in occasional unpredictable behavior from Unit 13, even if it is stalled fully, which may then result in the opposite, unpredictable behavior. Additionally, Sniper may cause your attackers to miss its target, so you really need to have a basic understanding of Sniper and when it will attack to avoid those situations. The slime sniping technique involves delaying Sniper until it's ready to attack. Turn it off, and then deploy Sniper well and turn Sniper back on to interrupt Unit 13, while making sure a peon does not move forward and get targeted by Sniper instead. This usually buys Slime enough time to unleash its shockwave attack, dealing the damage to peons behind Unit 13. As an additional note, this combination should be timed precisely late enough to avoid a weakened wave, where Unit 13 attacks Slime, and any remaining shockwave damage is weakened to half thanks to intentional game design. Slime sniping is a core element of any defensive variation, so I will give a few starting tips. Toggle Sniper off slightly earlier, so Sniper doesn't actually misfire. Toggle Sniper on slightly earlier, so Slime doesn't miss its attack. When Unit 13 moves forward by 2 or more frames, Sniper actually will interrupt the attack when the attack cycles line up. And finally, expect to practice a lot before getting consistent. All of the most difficult and complicated completions of We'll Meet Again were only possible thanks to the perfection of this technique. Start practicing to build up your confidence and skill in slime sniping. Now that I've explained how slime sniping works, you should use this to your advantage to help yourself clear out the peons. Let's start with the trolley blogger. It is not threatening and it causes the least amount of issues. Simply deploy stone or courier to remove them if they are not already sniped by Slime's shockwave. Next up, we have the bunny, and issues already arise. You see, they're fast, so they have to be dealt with quickly. Either use supercar, or a pair of slime, bullet train, and courier, and that will eliminate them outright. Make sure to plan ahead your defensive sequence for the bunnies, otherwise you might get caught out without any attackers when they push you. And finally, we come to the Shibalian. This peon requires the most amount of commitment and attention, since using slime is just mandatory. As discussed earlier, use either supercar or bullet train as additional burst with slime, and courier and stone might just come in handy to finish it off. Already, these defenses are dependent on enemy positioning variation, and whatever units that you have on cooldown. With a multi-peon wave, the complexity will just increase by a whole new dimension. Multi-peon defenses are considerably more difficult to deal with. You'll have to adapt your timings to suit the situation at hand, and no defense will ever be the same. My general advice is to save courier for the bunnies and everything else for the Shibalians, while slime mostly cleans up. If available, Bahamut can also just solo defend these waves. Your cat cannon may also act as a secondary line of defense, and I'll get back to this later. Just keep your head clear while defending these multi-peon waves to notice what patterns won't work, and choose a better option. To help with these defenses, you could allocate the last 3 slots to using readily available support units. They will help you get out of sticky situations when there's a threat of multiple peons. As is common with Unit 13, the average attacker does not get much value due to the short lifetime. Doron is designed to unleash a singular, impactful attack, so We Meet Again 3 Crown is near perfect conditions for its usage. Its burst damage and its extended reach helps defend denser peon waves, and it has a reasonable cooldown of about 1 minute. This cooldown also quite well synergizes with the slow beam, and they do work hand in hand just like slime. All's good with Doron until Unit 13 hits the 2x berserk damage at half health. By an unhappy coincidence, Awakened Doron is just 7 health points away from surviving an attack from Berserk Unit 13, making him much more difficult to use. However, just like slime again, a sniper interrupt can enable its attack to come through anyway. Doron is definitely a strong option for contention for your lineup. Soractes, also known as Socrates or simply Soc, does not do much as a unit itself on the stage. Instead, a strong, uninterruptible, and wide Conjure attack functions as a secondary clear for dense peon waves, similar to Bahamut. Compared to Doron, he performs more consistently and works during the Unit 13's Berserk. However, he recharges more slowly and costs more to deploy. This may come back to haunt you if your money isn't managed properly, but even so, his cost inefficiency isn't too relevant. Our next support unit is quite expensive, but still definitely deserves a mention. Oh, Super Feline. Where do I start with this guy? On paper, Super Feline should function well here, having both great speed and good area burst damage. Unfortunately, its high cost makes it ineffective as a primary damage source. If you rely on him too often, you will just run out of money, or if you want to afford him, you will just have to cut spending elsewhere, which means that you're slowing down the stage and making the stage more difficult. As an emergency option though, he's still fine because he combines with Courier to make a potent combination that can solve and break through a dangerous peon wave. Just remember that relying less on Super Feline means that you can better spend your money on deploying pretty much everything else. Lastly, Catapod makes a surprising debut in We'll Meet Again as a cost-efficient attacker. Even I forgot it existed while writing the script. Its function is nearly identical to Supercar, and it also does have a favourable interaction with Shibalian too, but it is overall inferior due to the lower damage and higher recharge time. Even still, a downgrade to one of the best units still keeps Catapod in contention for a slot in your lineup. Finally, there are two additional Cat Cannon mechanics to help the strategy. Cat Cannon Foundations help Manic Lion by reducing the peon's damage. The Water Blast and Breaker Blast foundations reduce Bunny and Shibalian damage respectively. I recommend Water Blast because the Bunny plus Trolley Blogger defense is more common and so you'll probably get more value out of it. The other Cat Cannon mechanic is simply the Cat Cannon. Cat Cannons recharge every 50 seconds, providing a free defensive resource when the peon wave is troublesome. The best cannons to bring are Iron Wall and Slow Beam, since they both stall the peons for about 5 seconds. I recommend Slow Beam more because it synergizes with Slimewell and also Doron, allowing Sniper to interrupt Unit 13 while every peon is frozen, slowed in place. Also, Slow Beam is consistently effective, unlike Iron Wall, which is more reliant on the peons clumping and doesn't always get good value. However, Iron Wall really gets more value when you synergize it with wide area burst damage, like Bahamut, Seractes, or Super Feline. So, whatever cannon you choose, just use it frequently rather than save it, and understand how to use it well. And all of that was pretty much the general strategy for We'll Meet Again 3 Crown No Gacha. Before I get to the next section, optimization techniques, cat combos should also be briefly looked at, because they will make your life a lot easier. Biohazard is one of the best No Gacha cat combos. For this stage, getting your units just 1 second earlier can prove decisive, and it mostly affects Courier Cat, Manic Lion Cat, and also Stone Cat. Another benefit is gaining a new meat shield in Hyper Mister. I personally don't like it though, because the next cat combo doesn't improve how fast units recharge. Rather, they improve how fast they move instead. Unit speed is a critical factor in unit selection. Slow units just get completely obliterated by the wide attack by Unit 13, so every single bit of movement speed will count. Increasing all unit speed by 10% with a unit speed cat combo ensures better interactions and easier timings. Most notably is Slime Cat's speed increase from 20 to 22, making slime sniping a lot more consistent. Extra speed also makes your units counterattack sooner, giving you more space to work with whenever Unit 13 finishes its attack, and I prefer it way more than Research. But there is still one more cat combo that you can bring, which affects how much money you have to work with. I don't even know if the general community of the Battle Cats knows or cares about this cat combo, but accounting 10% from Monarchy is extremely useful here. I already addressed the possibility of bankruptcy before, and Monarchy can help neutralize this. While 10% extra money bounty is unassuming at first, over the course of a 20-minute or longer battle, these extra funds will definitely keep you afloat if you play well. On a side note, I think players should be using the accounting cat combo much more, seeing as Greater Balrog actually features in the best one. Accounting is usually shadowed by worker up, but they actually function quite differently, so please consider using accounting power cat combos a lot more. That's about it for part 2, where I covered the general strategy for We'll Meet Again and how to achieve it with the units you have available. In part 3, I'll give some tips about optimizing and improving your gameplay and defenses. These tips are not necessarily a must-use, nor are they a complete, comprehensive list of every optimization, but are just the ones that I found useful to ease the stage whenever I play myself. An easy misconception about We'll Meet Again is that your unit timings should be perfectly avoiding Unit 13, which is just not true. In fact, it is not even strictly optimal, and Courier is a great example. Against a lone peon, Courier's ideal timing is flexible due to the variance in enemy positions. Sometimes, you will need to time it as early as possible, but also sometimes, timing Courier later is better to snipe a peon instead. You will save a lot of space, and it also lets Courier recharge a little bit faster. Give this a go when there's a lone peon to practice the purposefully late or early timings. Supercar can be used similarly, again thanks to its somewhat flexible timing. Just beware that an additional step is required to lure the peon in front of Unit 13 before Supercar's attack occurs. Early sniper interrupts are also helpful to keep in mind, mostly for when the peons are close and might walk in front of Unit 13 before a normal sniper interrupt timing happens. Slime should get full wave damage because of the close proximity of peons anyway, so don't discount this either. Bullet Train is the safest and easiest to use burst damage option, so you should be deploying it frequently. Try comboing it with other damage sources to enhance your defenses. For example, it can immediately clear a path for a Slime Snipe interruption on Unit 13, as shown earlier. When Sniper is ready to interrupt Unit 13, consider cycling support units and Slime simultaneously. It accelerates your damage output and also keeps Slime's cooldown in line with Sniper's cycle, so you won't have to regain the Slime sniping rhythm. And finally, my last general optimization is clipping Bullet Train or Stone through Unit 13 during a Sniper interrupt to forcefully chip the peons behind. Although risky, it might come in handy once you have completely mastered Sniper control and pretty much everything else too, but don't try it until then. I hope you found this video informative for your attempts of We'll Meet Again 3 Crown with the No Gacha restrictions. This video most likely concludes my We'll Meet Again journey on YouTube. I tried to keep the bulk of it as concise as possible, while also letting the gameplay and visuals speak for themselves. Thanks again to Kilo Online for script feedback and general suggestions. If you're looking for a video that is absolute cinema, check out their excellent video concerning the long, 5-year standing history of We'll Meet Again being the hardest No Gacha challenge. Until next time.